So what's up guys, today we're gonna go through the case study of our recent project, which is website of Archalyk. So first we're gonna go and take a look at the website itself, its features, its effects, and animations. So first thing we see when we enter a website, it's a loading screen and we can proceed to the website with a start button. Right after when we enter the website, we can see this beautiful animation of the logo and also the entering the images inside of the screen. So we can try it one more time. So again, as you can see, beautiful logo animation one by one each letter, and also we see these beautiful images. And as you can see, it's a little parallax effect because the logo and the bottles are moving with a different speed. I think it's pretty nice. And also here we have a smooth scroll effect on the entire website, which makes the user experience much better. Also, the next effect that we have on the entire website is when we scroll, we get different in-view animations, as one you saw with this label with the text. So one of the signature effects on this website is this on scroll slider of all the categories. I think it's pretty neat and very suitable to this specific situation. As you can see, very smooth transition in between the product categories. So right after it ends, we are entering the review slider. It's a simple one, yet still I think it designed pretty well. So the next category, as you can see, it involved the letter animation, also the number odometer effect, and here we have also little effect where the different words slide one by one over here. So again, the next effect with letters, typography, and the last one. And at the end we have this on scroll footer. As you can see, it's sliding over the main section. And a footer again is pretty simple with a menu, with a video, and a cool on hover effects, just like this. I think it's pretty nice. And if you have observed, we still have this mouse follower. Do you see the black dot is following the mouse? And also when we hover over some things, we get this pop-up effect, as here, the water, sort of like story. So let's go and see next cool feature, which is the menu. So as you can see, it's pretty cool animated hamburger and X with a nice animation of the overlay. And then in the menu we have this menu items, again with a very nice hover effect, which is very cool, as you can see. Boom, boom. And regarding the social media, we have again this pop-up, and with the same with the different languages of the website. So let's proceed to the next page, which is categories. So all the rest page except of the home page, they have this infinite slider, sort of like the name of the page upstairs. And then if we scroll again, this animation on scroll effect for different product categories till the very end. And each product category, as you can see, contains pretty neat slider with this appearance effect of the background. And if you hover over, you could see this, the name of the product. Tropic, grapefruit. I think it's pretty nice. And for each, the image for each product, like each bottle you see here, it's a designed 3D model, which were then converted, exported as a image. So let's go and see the product. So the single product page is pretty simple. So we have the image of a product. Again, it's a very nice one. As you can see, it's very crisp, professional. And we have a slider with some information. Again, the slider has a simple effect. As you can see, this X to plus transition, and with a nice easing at the end. So let's proceed to the next page. So next pages, the About Us, Sustainability, and Our Water pages, they all share the same design. As you will see, again, we have a picture, and each year of this history of the company, as you can see, it's animating as a number till the very last date, which is 2023. And as you can see, we have also a very beautiful effect on scroll, which is image scrolling inside of the it's, I would say, like block. It's not a just standing image. As you can see that it's animating inside, which I think is pretty nice modern effect. So as I previously mentioned, so this is sustainability page, and also the water page. They share the same design in terms of data representation. The next page is careers. So it's pretty, again, this one is a pretty basic page. So we have the open positions, and they are in the format of sort of like table, and then you can just apply now, where you see the beautiful animation of the pop-up window, and then you can enter the information, and this information will go to one of the HR managers. So the next page is FAQ. So again, it's a simple, we decided to use a simple drop-down accordion, again with the very slick animations, just like this. The contact page is pretty basic too, so let's try to use the form. So I have pre-filled the form with the data, and as you can see, it has an active state. For example, if we to remove the value, we see that the border is has a great shade, but if we add the information back, you can see it has an active state of red border. So let's try to send a message, and as you can see here again, we see that sort of like in progress mode, and then we have the verification that the message has been sent. I think it's pretty correct way of using the user experience, enriching it with the right states. Also the links to the social media, and also the websites. And the thing is, here we decided to use just a subdomain for every language, because it's technically much simpler, and also the main reason because it's much better for SEO. So we basically have 3 different websites, which they are, because each contain a different language, and it's a pretty correct structure that can be used for SEO purposes. Re-enter this page, and we have a nice typography animation, which gives you the message that the page wasn't found and you have to go home. The next important feature that every modern website should have is a responsive design. It means the website should look good on every screen width and device, and also a browser. So let me please show you. So first we have the 920 the width, which is pretty wide. That's why the website pretty much looked as I showed you previously. And now let's see if we're gonna decrease the width a little bit. For example, we're gonna take the 1366, the smaller version of a desktop laptop, and as you can see, even though the width became, the design still looks pretty good. Let's see, let's go down a little bit. So now let's go try with a tablet. So let's go first with Apple iPad Pro. So now as you can see, the width is 1024 pixels, which is significantly less, but still, as you can see, we got smaller sizes of the images, but otherwise everything looks in a harmony as it should look. And as you can see here, we've got our first layout shift. The images went down there from the previous position at the right side, and as you can see, everything looks nice. All right, so let's go even less now in its size. So let's go with this Apple iPad with 768, and as you can see, even in these conditions, everything looks pretty good. So let's check the sidebar, and as you can see on that size, the sidebar occupies the 100% of the width, which is also a nice practice if you have the smaller device, so to have a much more space. So now let's go with the mobile phone. So let's go with the iPhone XS Max. So it's 414 pixels, and as you can see now, even though it's a very small screen size, still the layout looks very good. And one thing it's important to notice that if we to reload the page, as you can see, now we have not the one-by-one animation sequence in terms of characters, but we have just the whole logo going up. Why? Because the mobile phones, they have weaker CPU. That's why if the animations are heavy, you're gonna have some performance issues, which is bad for UX. That's why we decided to go with this simpler approach. And even here, as you can see, it just coming on view with a just fade in animation. And also, if you see, now we have just one column layout, no slider, again because it's a smaller screen size and also the weaker CPU on the phones. Here's pretty much the same as on tablets, but again with a smaller scale, just coming into view with animation. And even the footer looks very much in harmony. So again, just to recap, responsiveness is a must-have and important feature in any modern website. So that's basically it with an overview of the website. So the next stage, we're going to talk about a little bit of the concept of the website, so how we come up with all these solutions. So my friends, I will share with you my Figma document where all this was created. So we started with basic things which we thought about the main styling of the project, and we decided to use a nice commercial typeface, huge typography, and huge photo and imagery elements. For the typography, we decided to settle with a Gilroy, which is modern, very beautiful designer font, which is used by many smart and modern designers, and it's not very expensive. So we decided to go with this font. And the next was the usage of these things is the huge typography, as you can see here on a reference images, just like that, like this. So the second element was a huge photo imagery element. So we decided, because it's a modern water product, we would like to show the beautiful images of the bottles, just like that. And as you saw from the overview of the website, we pretty much did the same. So minimalistic view, just beautiful pictures. Next, I started thinking about the sitemap and wireframes, and I actually usually do it by hand. So we had the home page, then the categories, category and product. And as you saw from the overview, we decided to get rid of the category, single category. So every single category was displayed on the categories page. So then we had the water, sustainability and other things. Next, I decided to go and make the wireframes of each page, at least the first iteration. So categories, category, product, water, and so on and so forth. So the websites we took inspiration from was Cuberto, Dayweb, and Minfam Design. And then we went ahead and showed this to the Archalyk company, and they decided to go with us. So the next stage was to start designing a website. So let's see. So I usually start with a very simple design system, and then if I need, I can make it more complex and more profound. So I decided again to use just two fonts, which is regular and the bold of the Gilroy typeface. Then the brand already had its colors. The main one was red and also black and white. I created some shadows, and the only actual component I used in this project was the button, which I also recreated in Figma. As you can see, it has a very nice and subtle gradient plus a shadow, and the text on a button has also a reddish shadow to make it more profound to see. So we are in my Figma document, and as you can see, we had actually several iterations. So in the first iteration, client didn't really like the design, and maybe he or was right, because it was super too minimalistic, I guess. It looked something like this. Images again were placeholders. But the main concept of the website was actually created right there. It used to have a backgrounds, which they do not have on a final website, so as a single product. But all the other pages, for example, careers, FAQ, they still shared this design. But some pages like contact us were a little bit redesigned, and also the story, water, and sustainability pages. So is the 404. So then we started thinking about the redesigning of the website, and as you can see, we had some again inspirations from the internet, and then a couple of versions. So the first version, as you can see, it used to be like this glass design, and the shapes were like glassy over here. Then this more like shape design with actual like circle shapes, and the team decided to go with this one, as you pretty much see on the final website. Yes, and so also other pages were a little bit changed like this. And in the final version, we had pretty much what you see on a final website. So kind of like this. Design took us a pretty long time, because also with the imagery, these images were made by me, but the contractor didn't really like them, and we had to think out the way how can we improve them or change them, which is also a common challenge when you do the design work. So So the next stage was a web development, and in that case this website, in terms of like technological thing, it's pretty simple because I actually used a plain HTML, SCSS for creating a design system, and a vanilla JavaScript. And the all animations that you see require one library, which is GSAP. Again, pretty simple, and it's good to show you that you can achieve pretty beautiful things just with a simple technology if you don't want to dive in something more advanced. In terms of the website speed, I think we have achieved a good job. Let me show you. So it's a Google PageSpeed Insights. I have entered the Archalyk website, and as you can see, performance is 88, which is pretty good, and it's a 89 on mobile. And again, in terms of this, I haven't done something very super advanced. We have just optimized images, optimized with tree shaking our scripts and styles. And of course, we are using fast hosting, where we have a gzip and broadly enabled, which also makes your website faster. So no image CDNs, no photo CDNs, just these simple things. And again, as I previously said, you can achieve pretty nice things with these basic tools if you know how to use them. So thank you very much for being and listening this case study, and my friends, if you like our work, please drop us a message at hi@zer.design, and we'll sure to contact you and talk about your project. Thank you very much.